Good afternoon. Just want to inform you that today we met the candidates, representatives from NASA and Jubilee. Jubilee team was led by the Deputy Speaker of the Senate, Kindiki, and NASA team led by Senator Orengo. This is progress from yesterday's meeting, where yesterday we agreed on the agenda for the meeting. The agenda was discussed and agreed yesterday. So today we expect that the meeting will proceed. And as of course you know very well that the meeting did not proceed. As a commission, the reason we called for this meeting is part of our stakeholder engagement. A number of issues had come up from both sides, Jubilee and NASA, and we felt that for purposes of engaging the parties, for purposes of stopping any misunderstanding, and for purposes of transparency, the Commission decided to have this meeting. So basically it was to iron out any issues that relate to elections come the 26th of October so that we have a seamless exercise. Now that platform, of course, did not proceed as planned, and of course it was scuttled by the parties for the reason that there's a bill in Parliament which is likely to affect the process of preparations for the fresh presidential elections. And therefore, we could not proceed with the meeting today. But from the Commission side, I want to assure the country that 26th of October, we shall have a presidential election, a fresh presidential election as ordered by the Supreme Court. The Commission will go on with the preparations for the elections. And if there are any issues from the candidates, we warmly welcome them to come back to us, and hopefully in a joint forum so that we can discuss the issues. We shall not get tired of engaging the candidates in this process of preparing for the fresh presidential election. So that's my assurance to the country, to the candidates, that anytime the IEBC doors are open, the Commission is open to engage, and hopefully they'll reconsider the adjournment of today and come back to us for purposes of any further engagement. So that's all I wish to say, unless you have any questions.
Chairman.
Yes.
My name is Geoffrey Mosso from the Standard.
Yes, Mosso.
Two questions. One question is, one of the issues they have raised is that bill in Parliament, and IEBC or the end user, should those laws be amended? Have you gone through the bill, and if so, are you going to give any input as a commission on what you think should be done or should not be addressed at this moment? Two, we understand last time you communicated to NASA specifically saying the issue of ballot papers you are discussed with UNDP with an option of having them procure the ballot papers for purposes of ensuring integrity, the preparation of towards the elections. And we understand Treasurer has written back and said, no thanks, we have already given you enough money. Is this thing dead, and are we going back to where you are at right?
Yes, about the bill in Parliament, I've actually not read it exhaustively. I just got my online copy now. But I'm hoping that whatever changes Parliament makes should not affect the preparations which we are currently doing. And you know, to run an election, a lot of processes and engagements must be done. So I'm just hoping that whatever Parliament is doing should not affect what we are already doing as a commission. Because to do so would affect the training manuals which we have come up with. It will affect other procurement processes. But I think our legal team will study the bill, and we shall engage more on that aspect. As it relates to ballot papers, the Commission made a decision to engage the Cabinet Secretary of Treasury, and understand that the letter which you have referred to has been written. Of course, for purposes of procuring ballot papers, it's actually up to the Commission to make that final decision. And this will be discussed. I think we shall have a meeting today for purpose of discussing finally how to procure ballot papers. And so we shall let the country know when we have made that decision.
Chairman,
Yes.
NASA lawyers have told us that the amendments being introduced in Parliament also seek to curtail your powers. Can you confirm this and what is your take?
And the operations of the commission, the quorum from 7 to 3. More than you fearful that what this also could affect the operations of the commission?
As I said, I've not exhaustively looked at the bill, but if it's about curtailing powers of chairman, I think Parliament has its own process. But what I do know is actually at the moment the chairman needs more powers than curtailing them, because we already have structures. We have the commission led by the chair, which deals with policy, strategy, and oversight. Then you have the secretariat, which deals with all operational issues. And as we speak, the chairman cannot do operational issues. Yes, I'm not an executive chairman. And so in most jurisdictions, you have an executive chairman who has direct role in doing operations. So in IBC, for example, if you look at second schedule, clause 7, the chairman has to run meetings and must get in a majority of the commissioners before a decision is implemented. So as we speak, the chairman's powers really are not as what somebody would imagine in other jurisdictions. So basically, I don't know what the Parliament is doing, but let's wait for the bill. Let's see when it goes through. And as an institution, when we come to that time when our input is required, we shall bring out all the issues and what we think is best for purposes of strengthening the IBC. Yes. Yes, Sarah.
Now you have studied the ruling by the Supreme Court.
Yes.
What law do you think should be changed at this particular point before October the 26th to make the election free, fair, verifiable, and transparent as ordered by the Supreme Court? Or do you feel the law as it stands was sufficient?
Yeah, thank you, Sarah, for that question. We have looked at the judgment of the Supreme Court and where the Supreme Court faulted us. And it was on the issue of results transmission and the issue of the statutory forms, and in the manner in which the forms were transmitted and were availed to the National Returning Officer. And as we speak, we have identified the areas that we need to work on. It's already in progress. We have already trained our staff. So as we speak now, we don't need any law to make us move forward. The issue of complementary mechanism is already in place. As the Supreme Court directed, we are expected to advertise in the newspapers what complementary mechanism we shall put in place. So it's not necessary we don't need another law for purpose of 26th October election.
Just a minute. Do you think NASA were being unreasonable when they were requesting here that the other side withdraw the bill from Parliament?
I think that question is best answered by the NASA or another political player. I was chairing the session. I cannot judge any of the parties as being reasonable or unreasonable, and you know very well the role of a referee. You cannot tell one player you're unreasonable. I think that will be going outside my jurisdiction. So I would rather maintain the neutral position and look forward to future engagements.
Chairman,
yes.
Nicholas from CAS, the discipline minimums, whether declared or not declared, seem to be growing day by day. And again, today is another day that your consultation meeting has failed to move on. What next? Because you are still the chairman to call again this consultation into order.
Yes, there will always be concerns. And I think being from the media, you know, every day you wake up, there's always something. That's why you keep on working. But what I do know is if you look at some of those concerns on the list of the agenda, there are issues which we can solve. How many agents? How do we manage observers? How do we manage agents accessing our servers and other areas? There are issues which we can agree. So they are not difficult issues. Going in the future, I still want to say that I encourage the parties to please come forward to engage. Instead of using another method, the commission is there to make it possible for this election to happen.
Chairman,
Yes.
if I heard you right, you're saying you were still able to proceed with the next month's presidential election without any changes to the law. And at the heart of the proposals to change the law, especially electrically, to secure what they claim are challenges or ambiguities in terms of transmission of results. Did you share that opinion with the two sides during this meeting? And how does it fall in place when you say you will still have an election on 26th, yet one of the players in that election says there will be no election?
Okay, the issue of the law, and I want to say this again, the problems which we were faulted on by the Supreme Court was not for lack of law. And remember when, after the Supreme Court judgment, I gave a press release, I said, we need to do some internal changes, a bit of structuring of where we went wrong. The forms did not arrive on time, the 34As. The Supreme Court says no results should be announced unless all 34As are here, and they have to be transmitted. So those issues have nothing to do with the law. It's more of the structural framework which the Commission has since now looked at and say, yes, it's doable. Now, when it comes to threats or not participating in elections, I think that's not for me to say. We have already gazetted a date, 26th October, with 2 candidates. I've not received any letter or communication from any of the candidates saying they'll not participate in elections. And as I said, our doors are open for engagement. And so I don't think we have reached that stage where things are really out of hand. So we are still available as a commission to engage.
You are, Chairman, allow me. You are aware that you do not need any changes of laws before the next coming election 26th. It's as good as saying you are opposing, you are not for the bill before the parliament now. Is it good to take it that way?
I didn't say I'm not, I have no control as a chairman of the commission. I have no control what goes to parliament. I have no control whether or not to stop parliament from debating anything. Parliament can pass any law, they can debate anything. I didn't say that I am opposed to the bill.
Your opinion, Chairman, my point is your opinion. If you are to be asked whether this bill should be passed to make changes in the laws or not, that's what I'm referring to.
What I'm saying is that we don't need any more laws to give Kenyans an election on 26th of October. But if Parliament passes the laws, I've also said I hope those laws will not change the framework we have put in place, because if they do so, then they'll put us in a very precarious situation. Because we have already set training manuals, we have already commenced procurement processes, and it will just take us backwards if the amendments affect the processes in place. Remember that elections must be held within 60 days. It's a constitutional requirement. We cannot extend the 60 days. And so we hope that that process will not be interfered with. I hope that's the last question. Yeah, thank you. In the meetings, actually, the only issue we resolved was agreeing on the agenda. After that, we didn't manage to proceed beyond there. But I just hope that the next meeting we have, I hope everybody comes with a sober mind to have this country, take in consideration that Kenyans are looking at us. Kenya is bigger than all of us, and so we hope to engage. And this is my appeal, that next meeting we call, we shall insist that the principals themselves, the candidates, attend that meeting, because we don't want situations where the generals bring sideshows to derail this process which must happen on 26th of October.